So when I first started getting into fitness, like around 13, 14 years of age or so, I quickly fell into one of the most prominent diet and nutrition addictions that dominated my entire life for years to come, that I still find a lot of people fall victim to on a daily basis. I didn't know anything about real nutrition and dietary practices when I started off, but I did know that I probably shouldn't be eating a whole lot of candy all the time. So I figured what I should do is I should callous myself to the temptation of candy. And my plan for this was I took a big old bag of my favorite candy, which is still my favorite candy. I love Twizzlers. Took a big old bag of Twizzlers and I put it right in the middle of my dresser, right in my bedroom. I was like, good, there. I have this constant temptation that I have to resist on a daily basis, and that's going to make me tough and disciplined so I never eat candy ever again. Well, as you can imagine, they grew stale and rock hard over time, and I ended up throwing them out. But nonetheless, that was the first step in a long battle with one of the biggest dietary addictions that basically ruled my life all through high school, college, and even as a young adult. Specifically, what I'm talking about is this idea that I can have full control over my health and my weight and my performance as an athlete simply by having the perfect diet. And what that essentially meant was that you take all the foods out there and you put them into two categories. There's the bad food, for whatever reason it's bad, and you just never eat that. And then there's the good food, and you only eat that. And therefore, to have full control over my health and weight and performance, you only eat the good food and you never eat the bad food. But the problem with this is that your weight and your health and your performance depends on a hell of a lot more than just diet. Yes, diet is important, but it's not even close to the whole picture. And furthermore, for a really good healthy diet, there's a hell of a lot more to it than just avoiding certain foods and making sure you're always eating so-called good foods. When we have this idea of whatever categories we put bad foods in and good foods in, it leaves us incredibly vulnerable to marketing ploys and tactics and strategies used by big companies that like, oh, okay, so people think that a food is bad just because it has this ingredient or conforms to this type of rule. So all we got to do then is make junk food that gets around that loophole, and now we can convince people that junk food is really healthy for them. Now, it took me years to be able to break out of the addiction of always trying to believe that a healthy diet was nothing more than just avoiding bad food and eating good food. But it did at least get the ball rolling when I started to understand things on more of the fundamental level, which is, of course, what the Red Delta Project is all based on, and understanding that there's a lot more to a healthy diet than just not eating certain foods. And that a true healthy diet, or eating to satisfy, as I talk about in my book, Fitness Independence, needs to do a lot more than just give you nutritional support. Yes, nutritional support is important, satisfying hunger is important, energy support is important, metabolic health, but also palatability and the enjoyments of food is also very key. And in order to get all four of these primal appetites satisfied, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than settling for the low standard of, I just don't eat this type of food. So it is a process, it does take some time, but understanding that diet alone is not enough to control health, weight, and performance, and avoiding certain foods is also not enough to just have a healthy diet, can be the first step forward. More videos here, and let me know if you have further questions down below. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.